Okay. Alright. Are you ready? Let's play some Pokemon. Previously, I went to the Pokemon Mart, and then I went out of Viridian's Forest, and then I went out of Viridian's Forest, and then I'm in Pewter City. And now I'm in the Pokemon Center. Great. What are my Pokemon? I haven't played this in a while. I have Baby Food, I have Squish, I have Shoehorn, I have Peach, I have Cranston, I have Grandpa. I definitely need to do some level grinding before I go challenge Brock. I think that's pretty clear. Alright, I think I talked to this guy. Yeah, I did. Alright, any serious Pokemon trainers here? They're all like bug catchers, you know, just hobbyists. But Pewter City's Brock isn't like that, not one bit. Cool. I think I looked at everything. It's been such a while since I've played this game, I don't even remember. Sorry, I was itching my ear. Pokemon learn new techniques as they grow, but some moves must be taught to them by people. Pokemon becomes easier to catch if it has a status problem. Sleep, poison, burn, or paralysis. Those are all effective. But catching Pokemon is never a sure thing. Alright. Well, I think I'm pretty sure I talked to everybody and like everything. So I'm just gonna go train. I wish I could run. That would be nice. Wait, hold on. Who do I have in front? Oh, Baby Food. So, alright, let's... Nope, no. Let's train him. I was doing some research... Oh no, it's a Pidgey. This is gonna be hard. Well, maybe not, I don't know. I was doing some research for my comic on Bulbapedia. And I was looking at a lot of, like, anime, like Pokemon anime descriptions, like looking at who voices certain people, looking at like character bios, and I realized that Brock in the anime is 15, and I was like, how is that possible? I can understand like Ash is 10 and he never ages, but Brock, he seemed like a lot older than he was, but I guess it was just because he was taking care of all his brothers and sisters and that his father was absent. But I don't know. I don't know if it's canon to the, like, the game lore, or if it's not canon. I can understand that Misty is 10 because she looks like a 10-year-old. Brock comes across... Oh, oops. Brock comes across as an adult, which is surprising. But, you know, you never know with this kind of situation. You gotta be careful. And I was like... I was looking at everybody's character bio, because I was looking at, like, the Pokemon Journeys characters that I just happened to stumble upon. And then, I was looking at like Ash's, and it's like, yeah, Ash is 10 years old. I was looking at Misty's, yeah, Misty's 10 years old. And Dawn, 10 years old. Iris, 10 years old. And I was like, how come Ash never ages? He's been 10 for 25 years. So that's kind of insane. Ash is like, maybe it's like that one theory back in the day that he died. Him and Pikachu died when they were running away from the Spearow in the thunderstorm, and so that's why they're 10 forever. It's like I always thought those Baby Food is evolving. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Baby Food, Baby Food. Baby Food. It's a Kakuna. Good. I'm glad. He learned Harden. Alright, I think I'm gonna go heal him. Because I hate using items. my least favorite thing to do. I want to save them for when I really need them. Because you never know when you're going to need them. You never know when you're going to be out on your own. If you're just training and you're like, like 50 feet, not 50 feet, but like, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm not keeping count. If you're like 20 feet from the Pokemon Center, then you can afford and the healthcare is free. You can afford going there and healing your Pokemon every time. Baby Food is gonna rock this Pidgey. He's gonna just poison him. He's gonna squish him like if he was the bug. He's not a bug anymore. He's a cocoon. So I can throw him at the Pidgey and he'll squish him because he's so heavy. Or something like that. He'll use Harden, and then I'll take him by the hand and I'll put him on the Pidgey and I'll squish the Pidgey. I gotta stop talking about that. Today I woke up and I was gonna make myself breakfast, and I looked at the time and it was like almost 11 o'clock. So I was like, oh man, that sucks. And I was too hungry not to eat anything, so I had apple pie and ice cream. And I was like, well, this is gonna be my dessert for the day, so I might as well not eat any more dessert. And I had it for breakfast. It was good. It was good. Ice cream was a little too frozen though. I like it when it's a little bit meltier. And you like mix it together with the apple pie. It's really good. It's very good. I love that. It's another Pidgey. It's level 2. This is gonna be a cakewalk for Baby Food. Cakewalk. I always thought Pidgey was boring. Like, yeah, it's a bird. Like, it's cool because it's like the first boring bird type starter thing that we get in these games. It gets points for that, but like, there's not a lot else going on, and even when it evolves, there's not a lot else going on. It's cool because it's like a classic Pokemon, but like, not much else. Like when you have like Fletchling, it's like a fire type, and if you have like, I guess Pippi-Peck and Toucannon, they're all right, but like it's a toucan that's pretty different. At least it's not just a bird. Like Fletchling was cool because it was a fire type, and I can't really remember any of the other ones. Pidove was just a bird. What came after that? Other than Fletchling, and then Pippi-Peck, and then other birds. What was it? Corva Knight, Tiny Guy, Corva Squire. I don't know. There's Pidgey, and they used Pidgey again for the next game. And then there was Tailo. Tailo was kind of boring. Like, yeah, it's a bird. Alright, sure. I guess. But you know, I never really was like the type to have the birds types in my party for exaggerated a long time. Cause like, I remember when I played Pokemon X, I had a Pidgey, and I was like, I might as well keep the Pidgey because it's so strong. And I took it to the Pokemon League, and I beat the Pokemon League with it. I had such a boring team in Pokemon X. It was just like a Pidgey, Fennekin thing. I don't remember the rest. I had the Blastoise, because they give you Blastoise. I really liked Pokemon X though, and like Alpha Ruby, Omega Sapphire, whatever it was called. I liked those because it was like in the time of my life where it was like, oh my god, 3D Pokemon, this is incredible. And I feel like everybody was kind of like excited about that, but then, you know, X was like not phenomenal. Like the rivals were also lifeless, and like, I don't know, it felt like it wasn't really good. Excuse me. But I liked it solely because they had it introduced the thing where you could pet your Pokemon and give them Poke Puffs, and I thought that was really neat. And then I would do it all the time, and I would pet my Pokemon. I miss that in games. I miss a touch screen where you can pet your Pokemon. It was very cute. I guess you can give them a shower in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but like, not really the same. Like, who wants to give them a shower? I mean, the shower thing is cute, but like, I just want to like pet them, you know, because they're little animals. I want to pet them. It always felt weird when you were pet the human Pokemon, though. It's like, oh, okay. It just creeps you out, you know? I mean, I don't know. No. But, like, when you could high-five them, like, that was so cute. That was so cute. I don't know. I really, really liked, I mean, at the time, I was like, wow. But like also at the time when they released Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I was like, it's my childhood game, because my childhood game was Pokemon Emerald, and it was like so real, like they brought it back. And frankly, I never beat that game, but like still, it was just like, oh my god, and I was so blown away by it because you could pet them, you could have the Mega Stones. It was amazing. I loved the Mega Evolution. I think they should bring it back, even though they're probably never going to do that. I say that now, but like, what's that thing with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet where it's right next to Kalos, and then and then there was those leaks that was like, oh, they had the Floetta that was like 1,000 years old. I don't know. I don't remember. But they'll do that, but I don't know. But I don't know about them. I think they made, you know what? I'm not sure. No, I always do this. I really liked Mega Evolution. I thought it was really cool. It was crazy at the time, because it was like, whoa, this is so cool. And it was new. That was like the first thing they really implemented. It was the first time they really implemented like a new thing for your Pokemon. Like, it was Mega Evolution, and then it was the Z moves, and then it was Gigantamaxing, and then now it's the crystal bullshit. I like the crystal bullshit, but it's just like, I don't think it's outstanding as Mega Evolution, because Mega Evolution, it's like a whole nother Pokemon that you evolve into, and it's so cool. I loved that. That was so cool. And the Z moves, where I liked them, because it was like you do a goofy dance and you get a goofy animation. I thought that was pretty cool. But then, and I like Gigantamax, but like not as much. But I still thought it was cool. Like, oh, they're gigantic and they're big and then they look different. But that was kind of it. And then they had the gigantic moves. Like, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, it felt, when you did the gym battles, it felt really special, because it was like in a giant stadium. It was in a giant stadium, and there was like thousands of people there, and they were all cheering for you. And it was like, and like when you were down to your last Pokemon, they were like, whoa, 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 and that was so special. And it never felt like so great, like so wild and amazing like that. It felt so special. And I think they realized that in Scarlet and Violet, because they have kind of the same thing. It's not like a giant stadium, but it's like you're in a stadium, kind of. You're like in a little battle area, and like people gather around and watch you. And I think they do cheer. I haven't played that much of that game because I'm in the set of my life where I'm replaying all of them for my comic. But I thought it was pretty cool. And like back in the day, it was like you go to a gym and if, you're just kind of like in a Walgreens. You're just like fighting everybody in the Walgreens, but like in Sword and Shield, you're in a big stadium, and it was so cool. It was so cool. It was really cool. It was amazing. I thought that the Gigantamax thing was pretty cool, because obviously I'm just like a baby if you jingle keys in front of my face, and then the keys equal new Pokemon. If you jangle new Pokemon in front of my face, I'm gonna go like a baby, you know? That was a fucking awful laugh, I'm sorry. How many times am I gonna fight Pidgey until Baby Food is leveled up? Oh, he just leveled up. Well, I guess I don't know where to talk. What level are Brock's Pokemon? I'm gonna look that up as I go on autopilot. Not the zoo. Brock Pokemon Leaf. Oh, don't tell anybody I'm using a walkthrough. Whoa, was that him in Origins? He looks so different. Okay, I gotta focus. It's taking a long time to... They're level 12? God damn! I got my work cut off for me. And the Onix is level 14? Holy moly. I better like put on an episode of like Arthur or something just to keep you here. What can I play that won't get copyrighted? If I played Good Mythical Morning in the background, do you think it would be copyrighted? Copyrighted? Or would it be copyrighted? Because I don't know. Because I think that would be fun and it would give me something to talk about. But like, also you don't want to listen to... You're here because you want to listen to me play Pokemon to go to sleep. You're not here because you want to have me... You want to watch Good Mythical Morning as I play Pokemon while trying to fall asleep. So I guess I can't do that. Sad. 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 I think he's... Why am I keep going to the Pokemon Center? He's fine. I'm gonna go. That's probably the thing you're all screaming at me about, like, just use a potion. No, I don't want to use a potion. I want to go to the Pokemon Center every single time and heal them. It's free. It's not going to cost me anything. It's not going to cost me a potion. It's free. They get all their PP moves back. They get everything back. And it's only 20 feet away. Sure, I can't run yet, but, like, still. I can do whatever I want. I got it. Some of you may know this already because most of the people that watch these videos are just like my two friends that I share it with. And one of them probably just watches it over and over to go to sleep. That's the point of this video, to make it for my friend Marco. But I'm going to talk about it anyway, because I don't have anything else to talk about. I got a giant water bottle. It's gigantic. Hold on. Nope. Yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Go back in the grass. I got a giant water bottle. My mom went to this store by our house that's like an Amazon return place, and it's where they put all of the returned Amazon stuff, and they put it in giant bins, and you have to dig through these bins, and it's pretty much like first come, first serve, where if you get it first, then you can buy it, and like they have it for like 7 days, and like first day it's $8, second day it's $7, then so on until it's $1. But like probably by the time it's $1, it's like not a lot left if everybody's going there. Like when my mom went there, there was a lot of stuff there. There's not a lot of stuff, but probably a lot of stuff, but like a lot of people there. She said there's a lot of people there, and like everybody, the people who are working, they have like megaphones, and like they're like, all right now, and they're telling you all these rules about like no pushing people, no like grabbing stuff out of everybody's hands, and like staying behind the line or whatever. And it was like there's a lot of rules, and it was probably very overstimulating. Like, I wish I could go there and, like, look for stuff. They probably have a lot of good art stuff. They probably have, like, a lot of good, maybe, like, video games. I doubt it, but, like, you never know what you're gonna find there. If you find a water bottle there, then what else could be there? Which, I don't know why anybody wouldn't want this water bottle. I guess maybe because it doesn't keep stuff cold. It's just a plastic water bottle, not, like, insulated or anything. Which I like those water bottles that you can just see the liquid, because then you know how good you're doing. And they have like, this water bottle has like little marks that are like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and it's like how you should, like how fast you should be drinking it, or maybe it's just like as you drink it's supposed to be like encouraging. I don't know, but I really like it, and it's gigantic. It was even bigger than my last one. My last one was like 64 ounces, and this one's 120 ounces. That's a lot of liquid. And frankly, I am a sucky 20-year-old teenager, and I don't like drinking a lot of water. I only really drink water if I'm like in the hospital, or if I'm going to get my blood drawn. And if I'm going to get my blood drawn, it's like my mom's, who drives me, because I can't drive because of many reasons, she's like, alright, we should probably drink some water before you go get your blood drawn. And I'm like, alright, and I get a cup of water, and I like chug it on the way there, because it's good to get drink water before you get your blood drawn, because like then they can see your vein easier, as opposed to if you're dehydrated, they probably can't see your vein at all. But the other instance is if I'm in the hospital, and like I've been in the hospital twice for kidney stones, and it's like they put something in that water, man. I don't know what they're putting in there, but I have never craved water as much as I have at the hospital. Like, they put something in that water. It's delicious. It's gobsmacking delish. It's insane. That water is phenomenal. Why am I training baby food this hard? I'm not even going to be using baby food. I don't know. This is going to be a long episode. Literally and figuratively, because every episode is an hour. Oh shit, critical hit. But back to the hospital thing. They put something in that water. Like, my mom, bless her heart, is like, when I was in the hospital, she would like take off work to come visit me, and then basically she would just be, I'm an idiot, man. Like, I don't understand what they're telling me at the hospital. And plus, the hospital I go to, they're not very good at telling you information. Like, I had sepsis, and we only learned that after I left the hospital. So, and you can die from sepsis. It's a disease where you can just die if you're not careful enough. And they didn't tell us. Well, they told my mom afterwards, And then my mom was like, I'm not telling my kid. My mom has gone on record as saying I have the amount of anxiety that a person in a mental hospital would have. And I'm like, thanks, Mom. I love my mom. For the record, I'm not insulting her. But, you know, what are you gonna do? But my mom would take off her work because I would be in the hospital. And, like, it's really boring in the hospital. Which I would have played video games if my IV wasn't so connected. Like, if it wasn't, like, in my arm elbow pit, you know what that is? Like, when you're, like between your forearm and your shoulder arm, like, right there. And if you even bend your arm a little bit, the device you're hooked up to is gonna go off, and it's gonna be loud, and you won't be able to turn it off unless you call someone into your room. So I couldn't draw, I couldn't play video games. All I really could do was watch videos, and it sucked. Which, if I ever do go back there, I'm gonna tell them put it in my hand, and that's gonna be a lot easier. And it's gonna be, which I hope I don't go back there, because it's really boring in the hospital, and you're on a bed that is made out of plastic, and it sucks. It sucks. Which I do have, like, some kind of, like, there's something like, I'm not gonna say aesthetic. There's something weird about being in the hospital, because you're just, like, you don't have pants on, you're just in your underwear, and you're wearing a cruddy little gown, like not a nightgown, hospital gown is the word I'm looking for. God, I didn't realize I was training him that much. Okay, but you're wearing, like, a cruddy hospital gown, and it's like, it's like you can't do much else. Like, which, I mean, if, like, oh my god, don't even get me started. But the food there, it was good for the first 3 days, and then I was like, oh, it was so bad. Like, I just got this, like, I just got this disgust for it, like something that they put in the food, like a seasoning or something, or maybe it was just the smell of the hospital, but, like, I could not stomach it, and I would throw up so much at that hospital that they almost put me on liquid food, and it sucked, like, because I would wake up, and I would like eat, they would bring me breakfast, and I would eat breakfast, and I would wait for my mom to get here, and I would wait for the nurse to come, like, check up on me after the night, and I was like, I'm gonna throw up, and this was on, like, I think my second time I was in the hospital, because they realized by then, if you're gonna throw up in this bag, and they got me one of those green bags with the circle on it that you throw up into, and I was like, here it comes, and I just threw up in this bag, and, like, immediately after, this nurse comes in, it's like, hi, how are you? Oh my god, good morning, like, hi, and I'm like, hi, and she's like, oh, what do you got there? And I'm like, it's my throw up, and she's like, oh, and we had a laugh about it. It was pretty funny. I really should be just training Grandpa, because pretty much the only Pokemon I'm going to be using it on Brock's gym is Grandpa. Oh dang, that was good. Good job, Cranston. What was I talking about? How being in the hospital? Again, but, like, I'm probably going to be talking about this for the next 30 minutes. But, like, when you go to the hospital, you just, or at least it was just me, but though you crave water so much. You crave it so much, because if you're getting anything else at the hospital, it's someone else is going to bring it for you from cafeteria that they have access to, because my mom would go and like get like a drink or a shitty meal from the hospital cafeteria, and I would be like so jealous of her food because the food that they gave me at the hospital was just awful. And I'm like, this is so gross, I'm gonna throw up all the time. I think like one thing didn't make me throw up, and I would eat that every time. But I can't remember what it was exactly. But I would throw up. But I remember one time my mom got me like a Subway sandwich, and it was beautiful. And I remember one time my mom got me like something like a soup or bread from Panera, and I remember I ate some of it, and then I was like, oh no, and I just didn't eat any more of it, and I tried to fall asleep. It was so bad. Like when you want to, and like there was a lot of instances where my mom was like, do you want to just like try to sleep? And I'd be like, yeah. And my mom would just be in the room, and I would wake up from like a really intricate dream and be like, whoa, where are we? And I remember the first time I stayed at the hospital, I took a nap, and I had this insane dream that we were in the hospital, but like weird shit was happening. Like I was flying, and like we were leaving the hospital, and I was like coloring. It was insane. I kept waking up, and I'm like, what's that? And my mom would be like, what you're having a dream, it's not real. I was like, oh, okay. And I went back to sleep. It was insane. What level is Cranston at? 8. It's good. You know what? What other Pokemon? Oh, Shoehorn. Does Shoehorn have a fighting type move? He has low kick. Alright, well that's good. Then I'll use him and Grandpa. So then I'll just level up everybody else later. Cause you know, you gotta move along sometimes, cause I bet me talking about being in the hospital isn't very entertaining with only the gameplay being just me in the patch of grass fighting Weedles and Pidgeys and Rattatas. Alright. And like I would have these procedures done, and they would be like, alright, I don't remember what the instance was, but like I think I got out of the hospital, and then, or maybe I don't know, I think I got out of the hospital, and then my mom took me to Subway, and then I had a sandwich, and it was like something acidic was really bad about it, and then, oh damn, Shoehorn is doing really good. But something acidic was about it, probably like because I got pickles on my sandwich. And beforehand I had a procedure where they put in a breathing tube down my throat so I would be able to breathe, and my throat really hurt when I woke up. And that's another thing, like when you wake up from these procedures and you're in the recovery room. The first instance, I had a very nice nurse who listened to my ramblings while I was on drugs, and was like, I was talking about like my sister's jobs, and then I was talking about like I don't know what brought it up. I was just trying to put my mind off of the pain I was feeling after that procedure, and she was like just bearing with it. But she was so nice about it. It was really good. But what the fuck was I talking about? Oh yeah, but I would wake up. Oh my god, there was one instance where I was like, do I want to know what my favorite movie is? Can you ask me what my favorite movie is? And she was like, yo, what's your favorite movie? And I was like, it's The Mummy, It's the 1999 movie with Brendan Fraser, The Mummy. And I would just start talking about it, and she was just had to deal with it. Because frankly, I was on drugs, so what are you gonna do? My nose itches so much. I'm sorry if you can hear me itching my nose, that would be disgusting. Where am I Pokemon at? Yeah, I gotta take Shoehorn to the hospital. Some of these trees kind of look like they're smiling. Like, this is their smile. Like the smile, and they have little fangs, and they're going. It's kind of cute. I'm never not gonna be able to see just a tree anymore. You're always gonna be able to just see the smiling trees. And that's the curse I bring onto you. The second time I woke up from a procedure, it was a different procedure. I was not I was not being forced to stay in the hospital. I was completely fine. I just had to, I think I had to get a stent out for all my problems. But I woke up and I was on drugs again, and then the nurse was not as nice. She was just kind of like, yeah, alright. And then I was like, oh man, she doesn't want me to talk. And I was like, she kept disappearing without telling me. And I was like, where'd you go? Where'd you go? And it was a real piece of work. What else about that whole situation? I remember I was gonna say something else, but now I can't remember what it was. There's the procedure. Oh yeah, before I would have these procedures. The first time I had my first procedure, the hospital had neglected to give me my medication, and for some reason we still don't know why. Probably because they had to order it from some doctor, and then the doctor didn't respond. I think that was their excuse, but something like that. And I remember they would be like, "All right, I'm gonna wait until the doctor calls, and then we'll get you your medicine for when you go to sleep." And I was like, "Okay," and then I fell asleep waiting, and I woke up and it was like 3 a.m. And they came back and they were like, "Hey man," and I was like, "Hi, what happened with my medicine?" They're like, "Yeah, the doctor never called," and it was a whole thing. So I went for 42 hours without my medication, and it was hell. Because if I don't have my medication, I'm just a crazy person. I'm just an insane person. Not like, oh, I'm crazy. Ooh, I'm crazy. No, I'm genuinely fucking insane when I don't have my medication. And when you have a fever, and I had a really high fever. That's why I was there, because we went to the ER because I would have a fever for 5 days in a row. And my mom thought it was COVID because it was in this time where my family all got COVID, so they thought it was COVID too, and they kept giving me tests. But it wasn't COVID. So they took me to the hospital, and this nurse was like, "You're one tough cookie," after they'd done 3 or 5 tests on me. And they were like, "You're one tough cookie." And I was like, "Okay, well, first of all, what are you about to say? And second of all, why would you say it like that?" And she said, "You have kidney stones in both kidneys." And that was the start of it. But so I didn't have my medication in the first stay. While I was in the hospital. And I was just insane. I was a mess. And when you have a fever, you're already kind of not thinking straight because you have such a high fever. And it's you're prone to be more emotional and you're prone to be more sensitive to things. But yeah, I would just cry so much. But like, I think because usually when I don't have my medication, I get genuinely fucking insane. Like, not even like insane, but like I'm genuinely fucking insane. And it's, but like when I was in the hospital, I was just like so upset and anxious because of, one, I had a fever, and two, I didn't have my medication, and it was a whole ordeal because once I really was like, I really don't have it in my body. It's like the day afterwards I had a procedure and they were like, all right, let's do the procedure, and I was so anxious and I was so scared and I was so like, I was just really scared and anxious, and like they're telling me all this stuff that they're about to do to me, like, oh, we like this sign, you can sign this if you want us to record it, unless we find something like out of the ordinary that we can show to a college. And I was like, okay. And I was waiting for my mom to get there because I don't know shit about medical things. I don't know anything, but she does, so that's good. So she's basically like my translator because I'm very dumb and I don't understand these things. So they would tell like my mom, they would tell us like, oh, you have to go sodium glutamate, like, and I'm like, what? And then my mom would be like, oh, okay, and then she would explain it to me like, yeah, you have kidney stones or something like that. No, but like when they said I had kidney stones, I was like, okay, I have kidney stones, but something like you have your ureters are blocked by something, I would be like, what? And then my mom would be like, yeah, there's rocks in your pee hole. And I was like, but you know, it's all good now, hopefully, because I've been doing a lot better. I'm not in the hospital, I don't have a fever. I may still have kidney stones, but my doctor said that it was so small that like it will just pass by itself. And they were gonna check with like an ultrasound. They said like in a year, which I thought that was kind of long, but like, all right, whatever you say. Which, that's fine. I don't really care, because it just will. If I get sick again, I have to tell someone. There's no problem with that, but you know, whatever. But like, I would be without my medication, I would be already really sad and emotional, like, and anxious because I didn't have my meds, because I had a fever or something. And like they were telling me all this stuff, like, yeah, we're gonna go up your urethra and like get all the stones out and like by hand. And I was like, and I was really anxious. It was such a hard time. But you know, but like they were telling me all this stuff, like, you know, the anesthesia that we're gonna put you under, it's a very general anesthesia, like it's very rare that anything happens. And of course, all the stories that I've been told were like, oh yeah, my friend's dog was put under anesthesia and it never woke up, and it was like, oh my god, what if that happens to me? And it was like, I was so anxious about it, and obviously because I had a fever and I was out with my medication. But you know, then I was like really scared, and I was like, they asked for a urine sample, and I went to go do it, and like I barely got anything in the thing, and I was like, so I started crying because I thought it was not enough, and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't get it all in there, and they're like, it's fine, we only need 6 drops, and I was like, you know how you are with that sort of thing, stuff like that. was I talking? You know, but the second time. But okay. Well, let me just finish up that story. They took me into the they took me out to go into the procedure room, and this nurse was so desperately trying. She could tell I was having such a hard time, and so she was trying to cheer me up while she was pushing my gurney down the halls. She was like, "Oh, we're gonna crash. Oh, whoa, we're gonna bump into someone. Oh, watch out!" And I'd be like, "It's not nice." That was insane. But they took me into that procedure room, and they could tell I was having a hard time. Sorry, I was itching my nose. And they could tell stuff I was having a hard time. I already said that, but sorry, I'm drawing a blank. But I would get there, and they would be like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm fine." And they're like, "Okay." And they would be like, "It's alright, it's just not gonna, we're just gonna," and then they put me on this tiny, skinny table, and they had my arms go out and be put in these arm holsters, and they were putting pressure on me for some reason, because I was crying so hard, and I don't know why, but they were and then they were like, "Alright, we're gonna put this thing on your face, and it's the general anesthetic," and something like that. I can't really remember that one that much, but I remember the second one I had. But they were like, "Alright, just it wasn't a countdown from 100, but I was they said something, and then I was out, and it was it, and then I was in and I had the procedure, and then I woke up in the recovery room, and that was it. And then I remember it was painful. And I think that's when they put the stent in, and it was attached by a string out my urethra, and it was awful. And I hated that string. You're oh my god, I'm gonna get this whole episode has just been so uncomfortable probably to listen to, and I'm very sorry about that. But I had a string going out my urethra, and it would get in the way of everything. If you're trying to wipe and you accidentally pull on it, it's oh, and you couldn't really do anything about it until that was the second procedure. Oh no, I'm so sorry. The second procedure, I had a stent put in. The first procedure was just to get the kidney stones out. And the second procedure was after I had been out of the hospital probably twice. And my dad drove me because nobody else could drive me. And it was a bonding experience. Because, I don't really talk that often with my dad. But I did that day. It was pretty good. And I was I had medication, obviously. And it was fine, so it was, I was completely good. I was I had medication, I didn't have a fever, so they were telling me all this stuff, and I was like, "Yep, alright, okay, let's go." And I was get me in there. And my dad said he was very impressed by that, and I was like, "Oh, thanks." But that's when they put the stent in. And then, I think, no, you know what, that was it. Because then my mom showed up, and she was like, "Oh, hi." And I remember I had the stent in, and I was like, "This sucks." And I was trying not to pull on it or something. You know what? I really don't remember if it was the first procedure or the second procedure. Oh my god, I don't remember anything these days. It's I go about my day, and they're like, "Hey, what did you have for breakfast?" And I'm like, fuck if I know. It sucks. Oh good, Shoehorn got to level 10. We'll probably just leave it at that, and then train Grandpa, and then probably by the end of the time we train Grandpa, the episode's gonna be over. I'm sorry this is such a boring episode. But you know, I guess in Pokemon you gotta grind a little bit. You gotta expect there to be boring moments. Especially in the older Pokemon. Because in the newer Pokemon, you can just send them out and then they're good. And you're just like going and you can send them out and they fight automatically and then they win. Or they don't win. And then it takes like 2 seconds. And as opposed to doing every single battle by hand, you gotta pick the moves, you gotta pick everything, you gotta do everything. And it sucks. No, it doesn't suck. I like that aspect. I like old Pokemon and I like new Pokemon for what it is. It's very special to me. I can't wait to play Pokemon Emerald, which I'm either gonna do I'm gonna do that for when I finish Leaf Green and Heart Gold in my comic, or I'm gonna do it on this channel as I play. If I finish this game before I make my comic, that's gonna be pretty sad. Or before I finish my comic, that'd be pretty sad. But you know, what are you gonna do? Not much else. I remember, I don't think I finished that story for when I was talking about my water bottle. I am a teenager. I'm not actually a teenager, I'm 20, but I have the mind of a teenager. I'm very sorry about the dog barking, I literally can't do anything about that. But I have the mind of a teenager, and I have the body of, not really the body of a teenager, but I have the mind of a teenager. And so I don't really drink a lot of water unless, one, I'm at the hospital, which we divulged in very longly about, or two, I'm getting my blood drawn. Because when I get my blood drawn, I just chug it immediately, and I'm like, ugh, and then I go on with my life. But at the hospital, the water is so good. It's so good. Because you don't even think, like, the only other fluids you're having is if your spouse or your parent or your wife or your anything brings you like a soda pop from the soda machine downstairs at the cafeteria and a little else. But since I had kidney stones, they were like, I went to the urologist and they were like, you should drink, like, if you're gonna, you should be drinking a lot. And that's the first thing. And the second thing is you could squeeze a lemon into your water, and the lemons keep you from getting kidney stones. It's some kind of science bullshit. If it's magic, that would be nice. Oh shit, I don't want to fight this. I want to go heal. But I took that. I was like, all right, and then that's the only thing I'm really succeeding in this whole situation. So I'm drinking a lot, and that I remember I drink. Okay, so here in America, we have a store called Aldi, and Aldi has like the lowest prices ever of any store in, like, any grocery store in Illinois. And it's insane. Like, everything there is just so affordable. Sometimes, not everything. Like, sometimes they have like goddamn $6 for a chip. Like, dang. But you know, obviously you're not gonna get the $6 chips. You're gonna get the $1 chips. But you know, it varies. But Aldi is very good. But they have, you know, the brand Crystal Light or Kool-Aid, pretty much it's the same brand. It's just like different ingredients, different packaging, different marketing. But it's basically just the powder that you put in the water and you shake it up and then you have better tasting water. But I drink a lot of that because it's good. It's really good. And I have the lemonade one. And I used to get the little singles of I used to get the singles of the iced tea. And then I got a gigantic water bottle. And then my mom was like, you know what, you could just make a big pitcher of iced tea and like I'll have an empty apple juice container. And then I did, and then I made an apple juice container and I poured it all into my water bottle, and then it was like the entire water, it was like the entire thing. And I was like, you know what, I could just put the whole packet in my water bottle, and since then I have. And it's good. But I learned that tea is very bad for kidney stones. For like, you get it very easily if you're susceptible to that kind of thing. But you could drink lemonade, and like lemons and lemonade are very good for kidney stones. And so since then I've been drinking a lot of lemonade from the Crystal Light packet, and you can and what I do is I get the lemon and I get all the squeeze it in there, and I get all the lemon pulp, and then I put it in the drink, and it has the pulp like swimming in it, but I don't really mind that. But what I do is I go to the dollar store and I get the Crystal Light packets. They're like Sunkist Crystal Light packets, which Sunkist is like a soda, but it's just not a soda. It's a Crystal Light packet of just flavored water bullshit. But I take the strawberry one and I put it in with the lemonade. So I have strawberry lemonade. And that's what I have in my water bottle right now. And it's very tasty, and it's making me really thirsty, and I'm gonna take a drink. It's good stuff, Maynard. I said that without even thinking of the time I explained it in this episode. Not this episode, but the later episodes, or the earlier episodes. Oh shit, Grandpa, I didn't even realize. He's running out of HP. This Pidgey got hands, even though he doesn't, he has wings. Don't die. You're my only hope. We have to train you. You're gonna be the ticket. Oh shit. Oh, you got the level 10. Perfect. Oh, when we learned Withdraw. Hot dog. That gives me, now that they're both level 10, I can probably try to challenge Brock, which I know I said I was going to do the last episode, but then I actually looked up what levels Pokemon are, and now I got scared. I have, like, the Nuzlocke anxiety without ever doing a Nuzlocke in my life. Like, oh, what if they die? What if they all die? What if I have a bad time? Which I tend to be careful in these situations. This button on my legitimate Game Boy. Oops. Now we get to learn about baby food. Nice. I'm sorry if you heard that. That was really gross. Right there, and then we're good to go. We have 2 minutes until I can end the episode, which in that 2 minutes I'm gonna go walk into Brock's gym. I hope you liked the episode this so far. I'm not talking to that guy. Hope you liked this episode. I know it was just me talking about my experience at the hospital. Eat and sit. Pow pow! Our Pokemon's in house. I already talked to this guy. Shit! I already talked to that guy. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to Brock's gym and I'm gonna take in the atmosphere, and then I'm gonna end the episode. I think we talked to this girl. Pewter City Pokemon Gym, Blader Brock. Brock, solid Pokemon trainer. Oh snap. Hiya. Do you want to dream big? Do you dare to dream? Oh my god. Do you dare to dream of becoming the Pokemon champ? I'm no trainer, but I can advise you on how to win. Let me take you to the top. Yes. Alright, let's get happening. The first Pokemon out in the match is at the left of the Pokemon list. By challenging the order of Pokemon, you may gain an advantage. Try different orders to suit your your opponent's party. Hold on. Peterson meet Gym Leader Brock. Winning trainer Scary Boy. Oh snap. Maybe next time on Vincent Plays Pokemon Leaf Green on Vincent Games for Goodnight, we'll battle him. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you got to fall asleep. Wish that would be nice, because that's the whole point of this whole thing, operation. And I hope you had a good time listening, and I hope you had fun, and I hope you're asleep by now. Alright, goodbye.